Hello! I don't know when I'm going to be releasing this video, but I am pretty proud of myself because I have just set a new bullet peak rating for myself at 2567. I've also eked over 2400 in Blitz, which is what we're going to be playing in this video. So let's play some 3-minute. I'm starting to try to get listed on the Lichess streamer page. So I hope to start putting up Twitch videos soon. So black sacrifices a pawn with d5 here. I think I've played this on video. I don't want to re-grab because knight takes, queen takes, knight c7 is a problem. So do I want to drive away the knight? I think I want to castle first, then usually play e4, and then maybe drive away the knight. So I want to play e4, gain a little space, and I can develop in support of that pawn. Bishop f5 is good, support the pawn. Queen e7, rook d8 are normal moves. I think I will continue that way. Rook d8, line up against this pawn. Ah, interesting. Okay. I don't feel I have a ton of choice here. I'm going to play h6, I think. And if g5, maybe knight h7? This feels safest to me, but I might be wrong. I assume my king's going to tuck away on h8. If h5, bishop f5, if gh6, gh6. I would like to see gh6, gh6, h5, bishop f5, because then my knight would have the square on g5 available. I am threatening to take the pawn. So white, yeah, has to do something about it. If rook g1, I'll play king h8. Yeah, I thought this was reasonable for me because I get knight g5. Okay, they can question the bishop. And I'm not going to be able to keep e4, am I? Huh. Interesting. Okay, I think they've played this nicely. I don't see how to stave off quite serious material loss. I'm going to go to e5. I was thinking queen g5, but then rook g1 seems a problem. So I guess I'll go to e5. And they grab the second pawn. Now their king's certainly not ideal. So if I can drum up some activity, then maybe I have some chances. I was thinking bishop b4, but then queen d4 hits the bishop, and there are knight f6 ideas in the air. That looks very scary to me. So maybe bishop e7. Looking to control squares a little closer to my king, because I'm down 2 pawns and getting attacked. Ah, and yet rook g1, queen d4s. Serious threat. Can I play f6? I don't want to walk into a pin. Bishop f6, knight f6. I still walk into the pin. Oh man. f6, maybe rook g6 is coming. Okay, on rook g6 I could take on h5 though. I am sort of threatening to take on h5. d6 is scary. This is, they are completely blowing me out this game. Now knight c6 comes with tempo. Okay, they want to trade queens. I want to resign. What can we do to keep the game going? I'm down straight just 2 pawns. I don't look like I'm going to regain them anytime soon. But if I don't trade queens, I just feel rook g6 is coming so quick. My queen doesn't have a good square. This way at least I can bring out a piece. Let's, attack things. Ah, no, yeah, well played. All right, nicely played by my opponent. They completely crushed me. Castles, knight c3, e4, knight d2. I played bishop f5, which is okay. I played bishop e2, and I should just regain the pawn. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Played queen e7, and they found this nice g4 move. And I've never seen this before, but... Okay, so my knight h7 was pretty bad. I should take. Yeah, the H file turned out to be really, the G file turned out to be really dangerous. I picked which wrong to keep closed incorrectly. But okay, this looks a lot more defensible. I'm not instantly losing this pawn. Yeah. And more importantly, instead of kind of automatically going queen e7, I should regain the pawn when I have the opportunity. It's interesting that rook e8 has been played more in high-level play, but knight takes d5. They can take on e4, though. So what happens here? If bishop takes e3, really interesting tactic. Because on takes, queen comes out, knight takes g2, king moves, okay, f1's better, and then the knight comes out, and their king is very vulnerable. Alright, the computer may give white a plus here, but this looks very scary to me for black to play. They must take on f5. If they take on e2, then knight c6 and knight d4 come strong. And this position is complicated, but I would hate to be white here. My king is so vulnerable. Alright, so lost a game, learned something. 0 for 1. I believe fell back under 2400, which is a shame. Okay, let's play knight c6. Play d5. The idea is to get a kind of improved Scandinavian if they take, and if they don't take, I'm going to get my bishop out and usually drop it on e4, which is a kind of odd square, but I can eventually cement it in there and get this kind of like a stone wall, except with instead of the knight on e4, I have a bishop on e4. It's very odd. I like it. It's offbeat. Players are relatively unfamiliar with it. This move loses a pawn. I threaten e5 and I threaten d4. My king has this escape on d7. What's the most precise way to do this? So if I take e5, queen h5, g6, bishop g6. I take e5, queen h5, king d7. They take back. Am I supposed to take on d4 immediately? I think so. It's been a while. So knight takes d4, queen h5. King d7. Queen g4 check. Got to block with the knight. Ooh. I don't remember this. Do not remember how to make this work. F takes e5, queen h5 check. King d7, de5. I think I can play queen e8 there. I'm going to try fe5. Okay, now I can just take because then I can block on f7. I've definitely had this position a bunch. Or do they have bishop g6? No, they don't, because my knight defends the rook. So I'm just going to play knight f6 and e5, and I am much better here. I've had this position before, so I guess my response in the past must have been f takes e5 to get here regularly. As I recall, I'm not sure what the punish is. You know, black, it's one of fe5 or knight d4. I wasn't making either of them work in my analysis. Now, of course, my position is, you know, a delight. I just get to take over the center. The knight on f7 is a fantastic piece. Just really supports everything. I'm up a pawn, better position. Question of where my pieces go. If the knight comes to f3, the knight really has trouble coming out because knight f3, e4 is in the air. Maybe I should play bishop g4. Maybe I should just defend my pawn. e4, the pawn will still be pinned. But their bishop doesn't really have squares. So if I play e4 and then just play bishop e7 to break the pin, they're going to lose time here. They're going to have trouble getting out of this. They can move the knight. I'll probably play bishop e7 in response. Yeah, and how are they saving the piece? They should have moved one of these pieces, because now that I played bishop e7, they're going to lose time on the other. Maybe they're thinking some kind of knight g5. Nah, they can, yeah. Alright. 1 for 2. Oh, I should check that game. That was, you know, I didn't know what to do. And every time you don't know what to do, it should be, you can learn something. Bishop d3. Okay, so the correct move is knight takes d4. And f takes e5 was bad because of the immediate queen h5. So knight takes d4. Now there are a couple responses. Bishop takes h7 I wasn't worried about. Because, yeah, I thought this position was just very reasonable. My rook's actually pretty good on h7, as silly as it looks. So that I wasn't worried about. Queen h5 I was worried about. g6. Ah, yes, bishop takes, h takes, queen takes. And I have knight takes c2, king d1, queen d7. Right, I remember this. Where the queen coming out is winning, actually. So king c2, I go to g4 anyway, not f5 for the check. I threaten g2. White can take the knight, but black is threatening so much that white's position collapses. Yeah, I remember looking at this. So the key is knight takes d4, and on g6, I can play g6 and just allow them to take. And with the key move, queen d7, finding this strange path into the attack. Because if I took on a1, they can just take on g8, and now if queen d7, they cover the square. So I have to be willing to sack the knight, queen d7, and black is winning. Right, completely forgot this line. Yeah. Ooh, not 1 minute, 3 minutes. Alright, 1 for 2. Let's play e4. Okay, open Sicilians. I played the closed Sicilian in my youth. Maybe I'll throw out a few of those. But the open Sicilian is just so much more interesting. Been having fun with bishop g5. I don't think I've recorded any of these yet, but I keep getting the sacrifice. Alright, I won't get it this game. I believe bishop h4. I think this is usually played, yeah, in concert with queen b6. And we get this delayed poisoned pawn. I don't remember. Knight b3, queen e3 is a problem. So the main move's queen d2. There's also, I think, queen d3 is possible. But okay, queen d2. Now some black players go knight c6. Do not just fake it grabbing the pawn. Right. As I recall, I played knight b3 lines. I don't know how h6 affects them. There's also rook b1. I think I'll try knight b3. And then, do I go for e5 immediately, or do I build? Well, this is very disappointing. I was really hoping for the main line where I actually remember something. I think I probably have to try e5. Knight d7 I would expect, or it takes and then knight d7. Now, I won't have to worry... Ooh. Okay, I'm going to take that. I think the pawn on f6 is kind of annoying for them. And maybe I'll play bishop e2 to h5. Maybe that's a useful poke. Also, when I play rook d1, it will threaten mate. So they'll probably play knight d7. I will castle. Keep f6 defended. Maybe h5 is a move for them. Okay, that's interesting. They can't immediately add pressure to the pin. So maybe I have time to do something interesting. Like bishop h5. Does that do much? I don't know. Rook e1. So I could break the pin with queen e3 or d4, though then maybe they have knight c5, bishop c5 ideas at some point. I'm going to play bishop h5. I don't see how they add pressure this turn. Missed that? Okay, I guess I have to play rook f3. Didn't want to. Just didn't see this move. Notice they didn't have queen a5 or anything like that, but totally missed just returning to b2. Alright, nice deflection. But maybe I have rook d1. My bishop's hanging, I threaten mate. I don't know what's happening here. Too much is going on, but let's threaten mate. Very complicated. Yeah. This whole opening is. I would expect bishop e7 here. And I'm not sure how I'm going to respond. My bishop is hanging. I don't think I can sack on f7. But I want to. And I'm not actually sure how I'm going to save the bishop there, so maybe I have to. But maybe on bishop e7, do I have knight a4? No, it doesn't trap the queen. Rook b1 doesn't trap the queen. They just castle. Can take on h6. Can take on f6. Whatever I do, I should do it quickly. Going to take on h6. Make a check. And probably take on h4. So they have to go king h8. Now I would expect knight h7. I will play rook h3, I think. They can take on c2 and defend. That's an annoying diagonal. So on knight h7, could I throw in bishop g6 and then rook h3? Yeah, because if pawn takes, I can take on f8. I guess queen e7. Am I getting anywhere? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Just knight g5. Maybe this. Okay. Rook d3. Try to come to h3. Queen checks. I can just block. Alright, they're going to play e5. But then I have queen h4 mate. Alright, I mean, I'm going to lose this game on the clock, but we actually did get them on the board. Rook e3 will be mate if they don't do anything. No, they have f4. Discover checks. Yeah. Okay. Interesting game. Yeah, I clearly don't know enough about the poison pawn, but I had them at some point. So e5 I went for, and apparently I'm supposed to take on f6 and then play bishop e2 with that bishop h5 idea. Okay. So I went for e5, and this was not very good. But now after ef6, I do have a wedge in their position. And then I should have gone rook d1, make the threat on d8. Okay. And still should have gone rook d1, keep their knight tied in. Missed this, but now I still have rook d1. I went badly. Okay, rook f3 holds it together. Knight takes f6, and now queen d4. Saw this in an earlier line when they had immediately played bishop b4, but did not see this here. Okay. And rook takes f7 is followed by queen d4. Yeah, so this was a blunder. I then took on h6, another blunder, many blunders. They took on c3. Now, bishop g6. Because the point is queen takes king h8, and now, rook f4. I was thinking queen h6 here, but yeah, no, rook f4. Very strong. Okay. So instead, I played queen g5, which is winning. King h8. Queen takes h4. Okay, still winning. Knight h7, and I found bishop g6. Hey, I played a good move. All right, I feel better about this one. Rook takes f8, and now it is a win. But I had no time, and I missed mate in 1, of course. And I realized it only here that queen h4 was mate in 1. That's a shame. Okay, I miss a lot of mate in 1s, I think, on these videos. That is slightly embarrassing. I think we're 1 for 3. And we're now making some distance between myself and 2400 again. It's a shame. Alright, let's play a Sicilian. I did so well with knight c6, though. Maybe I should have gone back to that. Working on a video on the Lowenthal. I really enjoy it. You get the central pawn. You get a lead in development early because they spend so long on this knight maneuver. You know, you're never getting mated. And all you have to give up for it is the 2 bishops, and you get this backwards d-pawn, though often we can get rid of it. White should play against it with a move like knight c3, and now bishop g5 is the main line. I have to defend against d5. Knight d5 is the main move there. I think I can play h6 here and sacrifice the d-pawn. If queen takes d6, there are a few moves I can play. Okay, they didn't go for it. Maybe rook d8, maybe knight d4. Knight d4 looks good. I don't know what they do with their bishop. Okay, I'm going to take that and make the claim that now my pawn is pretty good, and that your bishop won't be able to contest some of the squares my knight can head to. Probably want rook c8 sometime soon. Okay, I like my pawn structure, so I think I'm willing to trade the minor pieces at the moment. Because my knight doesn't have a square I'm really pumped to have it go to. But I'm thinking about, like, rook c5, apply a little pressure. Okay. g6, g4, that would be a huge blunder. Therefore, I guess I have to retreat and allow the weakening of my pawns. But I don't know that this is such a big deal. It's really important that my knight controls f5, because if they could plop their bishop on f5 after doubling my pawns, then they'd be kind of permanently stuck. Now I don't think I'm too worried. But, you know, famous last words and all that. Maybe rook c5. Yeah. Prove it. What you got? Normal moves. All right, let's play b5. Maybe b4 then. Okay. Rook c8? Still want to see it proven. They should just play rook e1 now, actually. This was... Once again, I have gone astray. Alright, now I can close this down if I want. I can also take. Is something wrong with me taking? I don't see it. I was going to just play like g5 automatically, but... do they have rook f1 here? No, they're just trying to be down material. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but... Unexpected gift. If they play bishop d3, I don't have b5 because of b4, so I might have placed my rook wrong. So now I'm going to try to play e4, gain some central space. And now I also intend b5. Yeah. So come back to c8. Still interested in b5. Breaking up their pawns. Yeah. Because if they take with the bishop at the end, I play rook b8 and grab the b pawn. And then this rook probably comes to a7. I guess it should come there now. At some point f5, king g7, king f6. Probably king g7 first. Get my king close to the center. Their bishop defends their pawns, but also if it wants to stay doing that, it can't enter the game. So once I start pushing here, I will sort of be playing with a rook and king against their rook and king. Can also always take on a4. But I think I want to start pushing. I might be able to grab h6. Hopefully my pawns can get far enough. I can also think about taking on a4 at some point. But I'd like to get my pawns as far as I can before I give back the exchange, which I will probably have to do at some point. But yeah, they're going to get a bunch of pawns. Maybe too many. Huh. My king's pretty good, though. Now the moment. I like this moment to take on a4, both because I'm low on time, but also because their king can't really come to e3, because I can drive them back and keep pushing the e-pawn. And they're going to have trouble blocking the e-pawn. For instance, here I might have this already. I don't. Okay, give 2 checks. Force them to a decision. Alright, I'll go behind the pawn. King e5? I've handled this very badly. Okay. Just gonna try to bail. Oh, am I not close enough to the pawn? Am I not in the square? Oh no! Oh no. Wow. What a horrible endgame. Okay. I was trying to bail, but now I can just resign. Yeah. Alright. 1 for 4. Nightmare game. Wow. That was the worst endgame technique you've seen in a long time. Among other problems, I think I got too passive with my rooks. Sticking the rook on a7, I just didn't want to worry about the pawn. But black, they would be much more tied down if I had, if I hung c2. And I can't even go to d1 because of bishop g4. Whew, tilting. Can we trap it? Let's at least make a go at it. Against this horrendous opening, too. Okay, I'm just going to try to get the knight and be unhappy. So what I was trying to say was, I put my rook in front of the pawn, but I should have just gotten behind. Then I could have doubled rooks on the 7th. Their pawn wasn't going that fast. I didn't need to be in any rush. Maybe I could have taken on d5 and played bishop takes g7. Got to create something, so trying to keep their king in the center. I feel like bishop b5 check might be annoying. Is it? Who can say? I was thinking knight takes d5, because if bishop takes b5, I take f6, and they have to take back a pawn, because a8 hangs. Can't click a square. And now queen d5, queen e3 check. How can we annoy them? Don't know. Guess I'll take a pawn while I can. Maybe come back to c4. Maybe a6, so they can't castle queenside either. What does it do, though? I don't know. Yeah, just miserable position. Should I resign? G3, queen d5 is just... Whew! Alright, I'll hold the pawn. I saw a way to defend it, so I'm going for it. Yeah, just make good natural moves. I'm going to play h4 and rook h3 to get my rook out, like a beginner might. Okay. I have a check. Always check. Might be mate. Sadly, it was not mate. Maybe g3. They come to b1, I have g2. Where can I even move? I don't know. They're just going to play h5. Okay, got to beat them to it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alright, well that was a bit of a nightmare.